welcome my friends to congregation Beth and to what I know is going to be a week of learning, sharing, inspiration, a week of conversation. The proudest claim of most Jews is a connection to Judaism that spans not decades or centuries, but millennia. Daily, we invoke the merits of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, not only because in our challenged and sometimes wanting commitment to Judaism we need their merit, but because our unbroken connection to them somehow gives us more meaning, more commitment, and more motivation. Paradoxically, we can all agree that at the very same time, our Judaism is very much an unbroken constant since that time, and a religion that has, by and large, every few hundred years, changed much in its application and outward appearance. It's a paradox. And one has to marvel at our Chachamim and their ability to learn the science of the day, apply and reapply the concepts of our great faith, and always stay in motion. Not exile, expulsion, war, the Renaissance, the printing press, nationalism, individualism, industrialization, electricity, technology, science, communication, or the internet has been beyond their reach or their ability. And that's why we can today, and for the next millennium, I pray, invoke the merit of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov by adapting and adopting, looking back and looking ahead, by staying deeply rooted and by keeping up. We manage to survive, to continue working towards Kiddush Hashem and Tikkun Olam, to fulfill our mission in this world and to stay relevant. Today we face what I call the WebMD phenomenon. With the internet and proliferation of information, we've become our own doctors and diagnosticians. The same is happening in Judaism, for better or for worse. For worse, because the social connection established between rabbi and congregant is weakening. For better, because we've learned so much that we never could or would have. We know and share so much about everyday experiences, about history, about archaeology, about new sciences, about new technology. Thanks to HebrewBooks.org, we now have access to hundreds of old and forgotten traditional rabbinic texts, and thanks to Bar Ilan, Chabad, and Machon Mamre, the time it takes to read, research, and cross-reference is a single-digit % of what it used to be. We have new ways of studying much more material in many more media, and we have access, literally at our fingertips, to the greatest minds and greatest writings in all of recorded human history. With that comes a responsibility for our overworked educators and clergy to keep up and to know as much or more than their constituents. Our leadership has an additional responsibility to anticipate the future in favor of the more common approach of crisis control. And I think you'll agree that that's the way we do business today. There's a crisis, we figure out a way how Judaism is going to keep up. And it's time to look ahead and see what the problems of the future are going to be so that we can answer them before they become problems. And that's where Beth Torah and this conference come in. As a community, we need to anticipate those issues that no one person or rabbi is likely to have the answers to. But with a bit of conversation, we can begin to break down. We need to be open to exploring ideas and to approaching these challenges from different angles. We need to help facilitate, as lay people, dialogue and help bring our educators and our rabbis together. Thank you to our board and our staff, especially Sally Haber, our rabbis at Beth Torah. I want to thank our speakers at this week's conference. I'd like to thank all those who took time to come out and participate, listening, asking, and contributing your own thoughts. And I humbly thank our very generous and unhesitant sponsors who made this program possible. I'd like to finally thank a good friend of the synagogue who's quietly helped in nearly every aspect of this project, Mr. Charles Mizrahi. May we continue to open our doors and our minds to share ideas and inspiration, and may we build a community and a world better and ever bettering for our children and for each generation to come. Thank you again for being here.